Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Journey to Greatness, day 196 of 365 with David McDonald, the GOAT. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Morning, Liz. Morning, Malcolm. Good morning, good morning. All right. To begin, we're going to get into our meditation routine. I will see you guys on the other side. All right, my friends, welcome back. So we just finished our meditation routine. Morning, Carl. Good morning, Auntie. How's it going? And now we're getting into our reading routine. So we're finishing up on book Relentless. Coming into the final stretch, page 205, 230. So we'll just continue pushing through this. We'll see you guys on the other side, and I'm looking forward to starting our new book. All right. Welcome back. So we just finished our reading routine, and now we're getting into our journaling routine. Journaling routine is good. It's a perfect way to get your ideas down on paper. Where I usually like to start with is writing about what I'm most grateful for. So in the morning, I'm grateful for waking up and then still being here and having exceptional health. And then for everybody who's joining us for the first time, what I usually like to get into is I like to write about what I did yesterday and my successes that I had and what I'm grateful for and what I learned. And then moving forward, anything I wish to learn or anything I wish to manifest for myself, go ahead and get into that. So if you have any questions about how to journal or what to journal about, let me know. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Alrighty, welcome back. So we just finished our journaling routine, and as we reach the tail end of this book, Tim talks about some pretty cool things in this chapter. When you're a cleaner, this chapter is regarding when you're a cleaner, you don't recognize failure. You know there's more than one way to get what you want. So for everybody who's joining us for the first time, there's three separate types of personality. There's somebody who's good, which is a cooler. There's somebody who's great, which is a closer. And there's somebody who's relentless or unstoppable, who is a cleaner. This book, if you're interested in reading it, Relentless by Tim Grover, we all operate. Well, we all feel like, for some, we operate at a very high level, and that is greatness. I guess whatever level you work at, and if you feel like you're giving your best, then that is greatness. But then this book teaches us how to take it a step above that, to be relentless or unstoppable, which is a cleaner, like Michael Jordan, like Kobe Bryant. If you don't know the mention, then those are basketball players or people who've played basketball, been very successful. Tim Grover is a coach of has been a coach at one point of very successful basketball players. So, personal coach and trainer. So a cooler accepts what he can't do and gives up. A closer recognizes what he can't do but keeps working at it. A cleaner knows what he can do and stays with it until he decides to do something else. So Tim goes into a section of the book, and he's referencing when Michael Jordan came back to play for the Bulls after, having went to go play baseball. During that series, some of the Orlando players said he didn't look like the old 23. 23 was Michael Jordan's keynote number, which he didn't. He was wearing number 45. He wasn't ready, and I knew it better than anyone else. His endurance, his shot, there just hadn't been enough time to get him back to the level of excellence that people had grown accustomed to. Predictably, there was plenty of talk about how his baseball career had failed. His basketball comeback had failed. He had failed. Michael Jordan was done, they said. And as usual, they were wrong. A cleaner is done when he says he is done, not when you say he's done. In fact, you saying it usually ensures the opposite. At the end of that game, he had a message for the Magic as all the players shook his hand and left the court. Enjoy this win, because it won't happen again. Then he changed his number back to 23. In the following season, he led the Bulls to an NBA record, 72 wins, and the first of the 3 more championship rings to go with the 3 he'd already won before he had failed. So, what's interesting about this is most of the time, when this book has mentioned it before, usually when you're in the zone and you're acquiring or you're achieving at a very high level, and something pulls you out of the zone, it's hard to get back into the zone. It takes extreme focus and dedication to get back to the level of excellence that you were performing at before you got out of the zone or something took you out of the zone. And anything can take you out of the zone. I mean, somebody, saying that you failed can destroy your confidence, your inner confidence, and then therefore you don't push forward and, continue to perform excellence. You can, anything can take you out of the zone. Something you can have a tragic life incident where somebody passes away in your family or a friend, somebody close to you passes away, takes you out of the zone, you lose your focus. And so for Michael Jordan, what happened was he transferred over and tried playing baseball, which was a sport that he had enjoyed growing up. And he didn't do so hot. And then he decided to come back to the NBA, which he was already very successful. and pretty much had a losing season or had a not so good season. And then, he fired back, came back, because people were like, oh, you're not the same person, this, that, and the other. So then he fought back, and then he, pretty much took took the next 3 years straight to the championship. So Tim Grover continues. He says, failed? How can you fail when your worst day is better than most people's best day? I don't understand the concept of failure. If you don't succeed at everything you do on your first attempt, does that mean you failed? Isn't it good? Isn't it a good thing that you keep coming back and working at it until you succeed? How can that be failure? What most people think as failure, a cleaner sees an opportunity to manage and control a situation, pulling it around to his advantage, doing something everyone else says is impossible. If there's a 2% chance that something will work and 98% chance that it won't work, he'll take the 98% chance risk just to show he took the challenge and did what everyone else said couldn't be done. It may take years and all kind of work, and no one else will ever see. But eventually, a cleaner is going to grow. A cleaner is going to own that situation and make it work to his advantage. He has to. It's the only way he knows. We can do this. How many ways can you prepare? How many different pathways can you create so you don't eventually run into a ditch? And even if you do run into a ditch, how many options do you have for getting out? And I think the translation that I get from this mostly is that you can never fail, or we can never fail. And that is something that, when we carry that confidence around, there is no failure. And I mean, we talked about this multiple times before. And so here we go. This is perfect, actually. Let's make this simple. Failure is what happens when you decide you have failed, right? Until then, you're still always looking for ways to get where you want to be. And I mean, this is really good when you're coming into your greatness and you're discovering like who you are as a person. Like you're on your goal, you're achieving different levels of success. Excuse me. You're on your goal. You're on your path to achieving your goals, and you're achieving these different levels of success, and something happens that sets you back. I mean, so long as you're intently focused on that goal again, and you allow nothing to take you out of the zone, you will never fail. Things may rock you or shake you or move you a certain way or make you change direction, but you're still heading forward towards your goal. And I think that's the biggest takeaway. Success and failure are 100% mental. One person's idea of success might seem like a complete failure to someone else. You must establish your own vision of what it means to be unstoppable. You can't let anyone else define that for you. What does your gut tell you? What do your instincts know about what you should be doing? How you're going to succeed and what you're going to succeed at. How can anyone tell you what that should be? When someone else says you failed, what they really mean, if that were me, I would feel like a failure. Well, that guy's not you, and he's obviously not a cleaner because cleaners don't recognize failure. A cleaner never sees failure because to him, it's never over. If something doesn't go as planned, he instinctively looks for options to make things work a different way. He doesn't feel embarrassed or ashamed. He doesn't blame anyone else, and he doesn't care about what anybody else says about his situation. It's never the end. It's never over. And that's pretty much where the chapter ends. And he's totally right about that. When you're in the zone and you're building your empire and you're building, the world around you, first off, there are no competitors. There's nobody out here competing against you except for you. And if anybody looks at you and your situation and says, oh, well, they're not very successful because they don't drive a nice car. They're not very successful because they don't, wear the finest clothes. Then they're making a huge mistake. Because first off, they're writing you off. Second off, they probably haven't even taken time to know you, so they're judging you. And based off and what potential, ability you may have to achieve at a very high level, if given the opportunity and when manifested the opportunity. you know, at the end of the day, nobody can tell you how successful you are. And that's an automatic zone blocker. So just keep those, keep that energy, separate. Whatever it is that you're doing, nobody can tell you, hey, I think you should do this or you need to do this. It's all going to come down to what you want to do. And to make things even better, it's like whatever it is that you choose to do, whatever your end goal is in terms of money, how much money you want to make, what kind of people you want to have in your life. All of those things come down to you, come down to me, and the way that we think, because success and failure are 100% mental, 100% mental. And I think that's an even higher understanding of being able to create a reality for yourself that is lucrative and that is comfortable. So among other things, I thank you for everyone jumped on the journey to greatness this morning and joined me for day 196 of 365 with David McDonald, the GOAT. And for everybody who jumped on the messenger board, thank you. Good morning. I appreciate you guys. And I look forward to concluding this book this week and getting into our next book. I'm pretty interested to think about what our next book should be, but I think the tone of it will be a little bit different than this one. So which way we go, I know universal energy and the universal, guide will take us to the right place. So with that, have the best day of your life. Happy Monday. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 5 a.m.